So it's a couple of steps today just to replace the fuel filter. This is the Z202, so it's the correct replacement, obviously from Bosch. It's a really simplified process on the 300 because the fuel filter's in a nice, easy position. Step one, from a safety standpoint, always make sure you've disconnected your battery. Step two is that you can either remove the fuel pump relay or the fuel pump fuse. We're going to do the fuel pump fuse today. We're going to unwind the fuel cap to hopefully depressurize the system and just ensure that there's going to be some fuel spillage, but it's obviously going to depressurize the system and reduce the flow, hopefully. Step three is going to be to remove the old hoses and basically bleed the system of the fuel. And then you can see that what I've done is I've actually removed the fuel lines and the rail, the top ones anyway, within this car and replaced them with the braided fuel lines, the hoses and the AN fittings. I got these from the guys at RGS Performance and I love them. I think what they've done is they've cleaned up the engine bay. They obviously look great, but you don't have to worry from a maintenance standpoint about the fuel lines cracking, splitting, or actually changing them out over time as well. So I'd highly recommend looking into that as well. Remove the filter, and then step four is basically the reverse. So we will put the new filter in, we'll reconnect up all of the lines, and then it will be fuse back in, fuel cap back on, connect the battery, and away we go. So step two is removing the fuel cap, and you can hear that hiss. So that is already obviously letting some of the vapor out and will go some way to depressurizing the fuel vapor and pressuring the lines as well. So this is where the fuel pump fuse sits within an Australian delivered right hand side 300ZX. So it's in the smaller fuel box the smaller fuse box that you can see. So it's the last one on the right hand side, so it sits under here. So the removal, squeeze them and pull them together. It's a 30 amp, it's this guy here. So we'll pull it out, the fuel pump is now disabled, and I'll just keep it in there for safekeeping against the car. So this is the filter, obviously the old one is still in position. The best thing to do, we need to undo the AN fitting, the hose fitting from here, and then obviously the hose fitting at this end. We have depressurized, but there's quite a bit of fuel still in the line, so always a good idea to make sure that you've got some rags in play just to catch some of it. So we'll just go ahead and try and be sensible and capture some. Sure, there's that back end piece. So pull him out, him back on. Okay, so he is nice and loose, so take him off. Take this guy. Alright, so he is spring loaded, this guy, so as you can see, but self screws into the bottom. That should make that looser, which we've done. And then it's this fitting. I think we should try and squeeze this one off first. Okay, not a heap of fuel, so that is good. On that side, try and catch it as best we can. There, this one is a 19. So we're undoing the coupling. This one stays on, this one comes off. quite a lot of fuel. So we're going to try and get him off and out as quickly as we can. So the fuel that was coming out of here is absolutely disgusting. So I'm hoping that's the problem. As I said, it sat in there, but it was filthy, thick and brown. So let's hope. You can see some of it dripping down there. Have a go at that. Horrific. Look at that. Gross. All right. But the fuel coming out of here is a much better color. So let's hope. Let us hope. So you see these are the two filters, right? So this is the old, this one's the new. Super similar from a size standpoint, which is good. This is the Bosch. Obviously I need to remove the fitting and change this one across. But what you want to always make sure is that there is an actual flow piece on there. So you can see the directional piece here with the flow. And what that means is with the going that way, you always want the direction going into the engine. Okay, so if this is the guy, that's the way. From the fuel tank in this side into the engine flowing in that way. Okay, so that's the most important thing to remember, always flowing towards the engine. Okay, so let's go ahead, change that fitting over and then get this one reinstalled. Okay, so we'll basically do the same process that we had done. So we'll make sure that guy is on here, then that to then screw back on as well. So I like to do it in the reverse order, or start basically the same. So screw in this side, get that one on, and then plug them. So let's just make sure he fits. We don't want the riding, do we? That'll cover that nicely, so that'll work. Let's just dummy fit him. Yeah, nice. If I squeeze that clamp down, in, on. All right, so I'll tighten that properly in a moment. We want to put this one back on, trim him down so that he's nicely in play as well. Nice. All right, then back with the 19. I think that is pretty tight. Okay, so that's it from here. What we need to do now is obviously fuse back in, put the cap back on, reconnect the battery, spark, and away we go. All right, so fuse back in. Box back on, cover. Cap back in. fuel filter is on correctly. We've now got ensuring obviously the flow going into the engine. All the couplings are tight, but it's always a good idea to have some rags on hand just in case. And then we'll ensure whether there's actually going to be some additional leakage or not. We've also put in about 20 litres of fresh fuel as well.